previous halftime. You guys are, also played for. Just how did you like kind of just the way that your team approached, especially that first half?
I thought it was good. We created a lot of quality opportunities. Most importantly, we played some quality football. 30 seconds in, I think we're clear on goal on one of those, and that's the intent of the team. And that's the beauty that these environments also bring. This place was packed, it was loud, and I think that always gives energy to a home team. And we saw that in the first 15-20 minutes of the game. But we were good, played in the zones we wanted to. You're always going to make small little mistakes that we talked about at halftime, but generally happy with the performance, and even in the second half. This isn't games and teams you can play 90 minutes one way against. So I thought we were very good. Small little error to give up a goal, but that's what makes the differences in these games. What we know now is what the result is needed on the return leg, and that's the beauty of cup competition and having two legs. You go into this one, you play, and then the second one, you know exactly what you need.
Did you see that the third time you guys have played them last game at home here and none of them have beat you over 90 minutes? Did you see that intensity that it requires to play for to win the ball?
Yeah, I know on our pitch it's in these types of games, because I won't say we're unbeatable here, because we can look back at our record last year at home. But in these types of games, it's difficult to beat us. And we rise and play some of our best football. We're a club, and KJ brought this up to me before the game. This is our 13th two-legged series. That's quite a bit of experience when you play those, especially compared to other teams in our league, and that always helps in these situations. You know what's at stake, what you need to do, and the next game is one of those games where it's 90 minutes of football you don't get back.
I haven't asked you about this already, but I'm actually playing upstairs at Manchina. Usually at 11 a.m. or noon, I'd be covering a legal Ontario game. But here we are covering a match 11 a.m. on a Tuesday. What was the preparation like for this match? Was it any different at all? Having players, keep in mind they're playing this early in the day.
I think a lot was said of it probably before, but I think everyone in this room and everyone watched the game saw some pretty good football. Both teams had to deal with the same thing. What do you prepare for? Those pre-match meals are different if you're traveling. For our guys, there was a setup here, but business as usual. You come out, it's same time as training with a little bit more intensity and a little bit more at stake. But yeah, it's. I think the players enjoyed it. I think the initiative from our club is fantastic. Ended up being a cup game, but if we can energize just a few of those fans, if all of them, that'd be even better. A few of those fans, it's only great for the game here in Hamilton, for us as a club, and Canadian soccer.
And then, of course, your actually is perfectly with my other point. You have mentioned 14,923 today, 15,000. Second highest in board history. Just speak on that, just how wonderful it is to see 15,000 people here, mostly cheering on the board.
Yeah, to be honest, we didn't know from before, not that how many people would be here, but how loud it would be and how engaged they were, and it was quite fantastic. To be honest, as a coach and as a player, I think you're involved in the game, but there's those split seconds where you kind of look around and see what's going on, and you realize that this is fantastic, and then you forget about that, and you're thinking of the play that was just going on the pitch with your players and what you want to try and do next. Credit to our guys. I think they've played some excellent football today, and we move on. Like we just talked about in the room, we've put in a good 90 minutes. We're probably not happy at the end with the result. Maybe wanted a little bit more out of it. In the end there, we've had some very good opportunities. But you flip the switch. Saturday Pacific. This one's done.
Come on, into the second half and end up top. You could, obviously, with Taryn off on the sheet tonight, you're maybe a little bit limited in terms of who you could put up top. But is that something we can expect to see from force in game future, or was that more just a situational thing that happens?
Well, I think you look at certain things tactically and you see how things match up. Those were spaces that Jordan was doing an excellent job at. You know, he's played a lot of minutes going back to last game and in his first start. The same thing today, and maybe having a fresher set of legs, a guy who's got some good speed to get into situations of depth where we knew we could cause some problems to Montreal in those isolations with Waterman a lot of times. And we thought, you know, his characteristics could help us out there. Same thing with Noah Jensen, and him going into the game made very good vertical runs into those gaps to get forward. So that's what we were kind of looking at with those substitutions.
And you sort of tripped on the second question I was going to ask about Noah. When the season pops again on one of those like runs that you speak about, he nearly finds a second 90 minute win of the season. Given we're only 8 games into the season, that's a pretty good rate that he's getting on the end of those opportunities. Just maybe speak on how that part of his game has developed over the course of the offseason and the end of last season.
Noah's an excellent player. We just can't put 12 players on the pitch. You know, that's my problem today. He's absolutely fantastic of a player, and we count on him in every way, whether it's starting, coming off the bench. He had injury right before the season started, literally a couple of days before, that threw him off. But yeah, if we could have 12, he'd be in there too.
Bobby, how was your reaction to playing in front of a lot of kids? So that was the nice thing.
Yeah, I don't know if I counted them as kids. I counted them as fans because they were loud. So that was the nice thing for us. Any type of environment like that, when you're looking into the stands for coaches, for players, for everyone, I think it gives you extra motivation and extra energy. And I thought they were fantastic. They were excellent, making noise throughout the game and staying engaged. And I hope, just like when I was young and I went to go watch a professional game or a Canadian men's national team game, that you're energized when you leave and you've learned 2-3 things and players' names and all of these things, because that's what you want. And I think that's something always special with young students and sport. It's the beauty of it. You get those connections in your community, and I hope we've done that a little bit today.
We know you usually make changes kind of late on the second half. Do you think it will make a difference if you change earlier?
I'll let you know next time if we change earlier and if anything changes. The team played way better, maybe. We could have made changes before and they could have played bad, they could have played good. We're not wizards with a wand. That's what I always say. We have certain thoughts in our head. And usually when we make certain substitutions, it's going well for us, whether it's early or late. And, we keep on that. We read the game as much as possible. And that's important today for us as coaches. And then you calculate any type of risk that may be involved with making substitutions in certain parts of the game.
Hey, Bobby, it's probably been asked to you a million times. I think it's been asked almost a month ago. Any updates on CC and Nana?
Yeah, Nana. If I explain to you guys the story, we need a whole day. But his process is finished. We're waiting to get him on a flight probably in the next couple of days to get over. And Cisse, there's a little less clarity on, which is quite puzzling. To me, this is somebody who's lived in this country, worked in this country for 3 years, had 2 work permits in the same organization, and all of that fun stuff, and he's still not here. So that's my thought on that.
Elias, go ahead and ask your question. We'll head over to Zoom now. We'll go with Elias. Elias, go ahead and ask your question.
First off, related Pele Anastasi, we had a good time with your loved ones. This is the first time that Canadian Championships had 2 legs in almost 5 years now. How does that affect the way you approach leg 1 of 2, and would your approach to the game have gone different if it really was a 1-leg tie and winner moves on to the final?
Oh, it's an interesting question. I think, today we play the game to win. We play the game to win and try not to concede because we know that's important. So, if it was just a single game, we'd be trying to do the same thing. We want to win and not concede in that game. Just the only difference when you have the 2 legs is now we know exactly what's needed on the return leg. So that makes things a little bit more tactical. That means there may be certain adjustments. But today it was about us playing our football. And most of the times it is with small little adjustments, whether that's Montreal or any team we play, and with all respect to them, but that's who we are as a club. So, now we go into the next one. We know it's a difficult game, the same way today was a difficult game for both teams, not just for Forge, for Montreal, and I think everything is open in the return leg in Montreal.
We'll be joined by David Trenier. Enjoy the rest of your day. That's all the questions we have today. Thank you.
All right, thank you, everyone.
Hamilton! Hamilton!